Right now, before I do whatever I'm going to do, do you know? Now, Julie told me that to keep my swearing to him. When you start, doesn't work.
Fuck yeah. He's even going to send the recording to Julie.
Yeah. I simply prefer to swear. I don't know why. People say, oh, it shows a lack of vocabulary. Bullshit. These words is better than things than fuck. I don't know what it is.
That's emphasis.
Get on, have a check. Sorry, just so it might be nice. You know when you're sitting there for a while and you're thinking, Jesus Christ. This is going on.
No idea now.
Alright. Just really well, is it Camille?
Camille, yeah.
Sorry. Okay. With Tribe. Tribe's easy to find out about. Okay. Jump on we've got a Facebook page that goes pretty well. We've got a lot of events. I think I've got 4 coming up this month. They're for all different areas of doing things. We're trying. One of the things, someone over here, Ryan, said that he wants to think differently in real estate and do these different things. I feel a lot like that about the world. I see all these things that are shit and don't work, and they're terrible, but we continue to do them because, that's how it's always been done, you know. And with Chamber of Commerce, the bureaucracy of government was just freaking killing me in the fact that their first response to everything is no. Doesn't matter if you're offering free ice cream. No. Okay, why? Because no. And that's what happens. So a lot of things I'm trying to do through Tribe is to do things differently, give people a different option to do different things and create a different atmosphere. I mean, if you always do what you've always done, you always get what you always done. So that's pretty important to me to sort of do that. Tribe, please have a look at it, feel free, it's a cool thing, going quite well. But I thought I'd talk to you guys today. I want to make it a little bit businessy because, you know, that's what you're here for and stuff, I suppose. But so I thought I'd kick off a bit of a story to start with. When I was 7, Mum finally kicked Dad out after kicking the shit out of us for years and drinking everything that he can gamble. She loved him very much though and said, right, no, you've got to sort yourself out, get your shit together, and then we can come back and we'll be a family again. So cool. No worries. Dad went away to Melbourne, was going to try and do all that sort of stuff. 2 years later, Mum got killed in a car accident. So you get there and you're sitting there as a young bloke, and I was 9 at that point in time. My brother was 7, and you know that thing people sign to say, oh, look after your kids. Don't worry, it'll be fine. Make sure you think about that shit, because that might happen. And that happened to my guardians, my uncle and my auntie. They just had a 1-year-old, they had a 1-year-old daughter, and they didn't need a 9 and a 7-year-old coming in, who'd especially gone through a couple of bits and pieces. They didn't want us. I specifically remember my grandmother and my uncle sitting there arguing about who had to have us, not who wanted us, but who had to have us. And that's pretty awe-inspiring when you're 10 and you've lost your mum and dad. So, you go down an interesting path. You get in a lot of trouble, you get a lot of kickings. Funny enough, my dad gave me a lot of kickings, but my guardian, who was the respectful one who was taking control of us and looking after us, gave me far more kickings than my dad ever did. And then he'd front up and go, yeah, so I had enough kids having to learn on my own heart. No, you're not 10, don't worry about it. So, anyway, got to year 6, they said, you're off to boarding school. I live 5 kilometres from the boarding school. So this wasn't a distance thing. This was a, off you go, champ. I kicked and screamed and didn't want to go, ended up going to the boarding school and freaking loved it. It was the best thing ever. I had 25 mates to mess around with all the time. I had big brothers. I never had a big brother, but I tell you what, you mess with one boarder, you mess with them all. And it was awesome, and I loved this environment. Finally, I was feeling like I belonged to something, which this thing here, pretty important. Anyone know what Maslow's hierarchy of needs is? That's what this is based on. So, I'm sitting there in high school, I'm going home every weekend from boarding school and getting all the shit as usual, getting kickings, doing whatever. Going home and no one being there. Like, you just get home and everything was locked and they'd gone away for the weekend and didn't tell you about it, and stuff like that, which was awesome. Anyway, I was a bully at school, gave a lot of hidings out myself, and I think a lot of that to do with the fact that when you're getting heaps at home, you really want to dish a few out as well, because it kind of makes you feel a bit balanced, it makes you feel a bit good about the world. So I was doing that. I have since made so many attempts to contact everyone on Facebook that I ever gave any shit to at school and to say, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I did that. And I wrote a bit of a story and I've given that to them and said, this is what I was doing. Year 10 comes along, my uncle sits me down and goes, listen, you're a waste of space. We don't want to pay for your education anymore. You're going to be a labourer anyway. Don't worry about it. So you're going to year 10, finishing up there, and then you can go and get a job and live by yourself and do whatever you want. It's like, right, there you go. And that's your expectation. That's what you think you're going to do. Because someone told you that that's what's going to happen. And you go, okay, you're a young bloke, you don't know any better. I had a friend whose parents, I used to go to her place and hang out and do whatever. And her parents said, what are you doing when you're excited about year 11? You ready to rock? So I'm not going, I'm going to be a labourer. And they said, no, you are not. So they, behind my guardian's back and mine, went to my school and sat down with them and said, no way, this kid's too good for this. And my school actually went, yeah, I know. We know, we're stuck. I said, no. So I don't know exactly what happened, but there's a lot of talk, a lot of negotiation, a lot of chat. We had some money because Mum got killed in Carson, MALB paid out and all this sort of stuff, so that's paying for the schooling anyway. They, for somehow, some reason, my guardians begrudgingly as hell figured out that I was going to year 11. I don't know what happened, but I'm thankful for it. So I call them my foster parents now. They're coming down next week. They're my kids' grandparents, all that sort of stuff. They never adopted me or anything like that, but it's just whatever you call them, sort of thing. So they stood up and had a crack. I got into year 11. I was allowed to do one level 3 class because I'd never done anything. Level 3 is our top. I don't know how your states worked or whatever like that. But level 2 was top. Level 3 was top. Level 2, level 1 was sort of your veggie maths and all that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? I always hung at level 2 because I could do it without studying. Just didn't do anything. I could just wing it and go for it. Sat there and I was allowed to do one level 3. That's the only reason I could go to year 11 is to do that. And I got biology because you get to cut frogs and stuff. Anyway, I got Mrs. McDonald. Mrs. McDonald was a groovy young English, she was an English woman who was my biology teacher, and she was great. I went on, I cracked into it, and by the end of end of term 1, I was failing miserably, just getting my ass kicked. And I was throwing things across the room, failing tests. I was kicking my seat back when I left, and just being a real jerk because I'd always done that, you know, when you act up and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, Mrs. Matt came and saw me after class, and she said, "You don't know how to study, do you?" And I said, "I've got no idea. No one's ever sat me down and told me how to do it." Because I'd always been a class clown and always in trouble and all that sort of stuff there, and so like, whatever. And she said, "I'm coming to your place." So that Saturday, she came to my house, sat down with me for 4 hours out of her own time, and showed me how to study. She showed me I had all these different pen colours, which I still use all the time when I'm teaching kids. I do a lot of work with job seekers and stuff like that. Sit down, different coloured pens and highlighting stuff and give me an idea how to get through this thing, and jumped on there. Long story short, I passed by it. Didn't credit it, but I got there, I passed by it. The next year after that, I did 4 level 3s, because it was 5 to matriculate, and I wanted to have a crack. And I got 3 of them. I didn't quite get there. I still don't understand what the social cycle was all about, to be honest. I had an Irish teacher though. I don't know if I just didn't understand what the hell he was talking about. Anyway. So I got to that, and I got 4 level 3s along that way from a guy who was going to be a labourer, and they said, "No, you're a waste of time," to go and do that. Anyway, November comes, and by the way, can I say, if you're talking to job seekers and you go, "Right, mate, what do you want to do with the rest of your life?" It's a stupid question. Stop asking, because everyone asks it, and I just thought, man, I didn't know. Did anyone really know? I don't know. I'm still not sure what I'm freaking doing. But November, I finished school, done, walked out. I was at another friend of mine's place, Amanda's place, and her dad said to me, I was teasing him and giving him the shits as usual, and he said, "Ryan, what are you going to do, mate?" I said, "No idea." And he said, "Why don't you join the cops?" And we all laughed. Ha ha! I was in trouble for fighting, setting bins on fire, stealing, doing other bits and pieces there.
Perfect
But,
candidate.
thank you. 49% crim, 51% cop. There we go. Don't know where I was. But Bob Fielding was the superintendent of police, and he was the guy that said, "Why don't you become a cop?" I said, "Oh, right, so what have I got to do?" Told me, went from there, got in the cops. I left school in November. I was sworn in April in the academy. I was the youngest cop in Australia. Did 10 years, fell into real estate, did all these other bits and pieces, that's fine. Talk about that. Can I ask you what I was presented by my foster parents, by Mrs. Mack, and by Bob Fielding? What did they present me with? Opportunity. That's what it is. Now, opportunity in business is so freaking important. But can I ask you what I did? What did I do with that? I got presented with opportunities. What did I do? I freaking took them. And I'm not sitting there saying, "Oh, I decided to take them." I just went, "Oh shit, that sounds a lot better than what I'm doing now." And what I find interesting in business, like Chamber of Commerce for 4 years and 16 years doing my own business and stuff, I see so many people come to these things and doing nothing out of it. I see so many people going to the pub and having a chat, because I do stacks of my best work at the pub, let me tell you.
Don't sign any contracts.
It's a grey area, alright? But I see all these things going on there and people are wasting it. Like for instance, if you're sitting there, who's doing digital? You're doing digital, someone here, sorry, whatever. Like if you're sitting there, okay, if you're sitting there and you're going to the same shop, the same newsagent every day, or a couple of times a week and stuff like that, get talking to these people, okay? Networking is not card stabbing. We have a rule in our chamber about card stabbing. Card stabbers are banned. Hi, I'm Ryan, I'm a real estate agent. You should come and see me for your... What's that? What you got to do is build a relationship with someone. And you've got to do this over a period of time. It's not freaking speed dating. Like it's not a one night stand, gang. Okay, you're trying to develop a relationship. But with the opportunity, where do you find these relationships? You find them everywhere. You get a chance, but the big thing is you've got to freaking recognise them. If you just sit there and go, oh, they were nice, weren't they? And then leave, you've done it. You're screwed. Don't be surprised. As a real estate agent for many years, I saw these agents going, I can't believe it. I know Karen, and she went and signed up with Grant. Well, Grant's been hanging out with them. Grant's been having to talk to him. Grant's been having a coffee with them. Grant says hello to him on the street. He doesn't just hit them up when it's time for a job. He doesn't do that. These opportunities are all around us. And I think it's amazing the people that don't get them. Just click on Tribe. One of the things, Tribe is about opportunity. That's what we try and present. Because in this great new digital age that everyone's really happy about, no one's making any cool connections by doing that. Okay? LinkedIn, and you guys might have had a great time with it, and it might be fantastic stuff. It's got me absolutely fuck all. Okay, because I need to be me. I don't compute well on a resume, particularly, because I don't know how you write this. I'm not really sure how to make my personality, my enthusiasm, my initiative come forward on a piece of paper or on LinkedIn and all this sort of stuff there, because maybe that's not my game. But I guess what I wanted to talk to you guys about is grabbing those opportunities and running with them and having a crack. Hit them, talk to these people. You know, if you're in fitness or health and all sorts of stuff there, and you find someone who's not doing too well and not doing too good with it, I'm not saying be rude, but ask the freaking question. Say, brother, and give them something. So look, how about we sit down and go through what your health's doing? How about we just have a talk about it? No, don't want a fee. That's okay. Do that sort of stuff. And that's the shit that comes off. If you're always looking for a fee on the first time, you're a loser. You're done. It's finished. What I also want to quickly talk to you about, how long have I got, right?
5 or so minutes.
I want you to do me another favour as well. Can you look at giving other people opportunities? Okay? You guys are in a very, very honoured position in the fact that you know people, you have the opportunity to come here, you have knowledge and you have skills. I deal with a shitload of entry-level job seekers. And we are in this employment industry now where you do that with resumes. Who has sat in front of 100 resumes and trying to figure out how to get rid of them? Yep. Okay, does that work? So you're sitting there pissed off about having to go through 100 resumes. They're sitting there thinking, I've got a chance here, and they haven't. They've got no chance. I mean, people are going through them for trying to find spelling mistakes, trying to find grammar issues, if they don't like the print or the font, and they're getting rid of them. So it doesn't work. We're trying to start something with Tribe, and it might not work. Like I'm used to failing on stuff, that's okay, doesn't matter. We're starting up something new shortly called Employ Meet. Now, what it is once again, contact. Get in contact with people and meeting people. Life is who you know, like I said. So, I think on the 5th, we've got our first one. We're inviting job seekers and business people, not just employers. I'm a sole trader, okay, I don't have any employers. But Jesus, I'm a good facilitator. Like I can put people into different directions and make cool stuff happen. Okay. We're running this thing to see if we can get 2 groups of people together, to have cups of coffee, some scones, have a chat, meet these entry-level job seekers based on who they are, not on what someone wrote for them at their job agency or whatever it is. Okay? Meet them for who they are and then decide if you'd like to continue a relationship with them. It's the same as networking. But you've got to remember, these guys don't know anyone. Okay? I did 8 weeks with a group called Designer Life training kids, and I've got 11 jobs for kids. not I got. I gave them opportunity to get jobs, and they took it. Okay? They're out there and they're willing to have a crack. If you don't give them the opportunity, you're failing them. Okay, so think of it different. Give a kid a go, but come and meet them, come and say hello to them, find out who they are. Don't check them out on a resume, because you know what? Resumes are bullshit. They're just not accurate. They can't tell you who a person is. So that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. Opportunity for yourselves and for other people in what you do, and taking that opportunity as much as anything. But I also like a good question time as well. So if anyone's got anything they want to hit me with, slap me around, give me a hard time. I normally say questions, comments, abuse. Anyone got anything? No one?
So
No.
you meet fairly regularly as part of Tribe?
Yeah, okay, Tribe. I try and do as many gatherings as I can. When Jake was sick, it was very difficult. Jake died in January. We had one a month, and it was at a pub, and because I like big nuts, it's not the entire reason. Also, people gather at pubs, so that was an easy place to do it. You've really got pubs or churches, and I don't do churches much. But also they've got rules surrounding being able to get rid of people off the grounds and all sorts of stuff, because we had no idea where this was going to go. I didn't know if this was going to end up like some turf war or whatever might go on there, so we sort of went. So once a month we have a nightly one, normally runs from 5:30 to you feel like that? I also do coffees every Friday at 10 o'clock. We've had, on the Tribe Gather, lowest we've ever had 75, best we've had 106. So, and they have a crack. Like, you know, there's nothing free in these things. We do Chamber of Commerce events up in Redcliffe where we have a great thing called the BforB Mingle. It's all free. Free booze, free food, great atmosphere, and we get 70 people there. I say to people, come along for a drink if you're lonely, and I get 106. What's that telling you? People want to belong to something. I'm part of something. So to answer your question, I have one big one a month. Next one we've got next month is pretty fun. It's called The Longest Night. It's a special one. It's not for that. No. It's about winter solstice. I'm a Tassie boy, and I don't know if anyone's been Tassie and seen Dark Mofo down there. Anyone's seen that? It's cool. They do a celebration in Hobart particularly about celebrating the darkest time, because no one used to go to Tassie in winter. It's a freaking shit house. But I'll tell you what, if you like stack of big fires. Sorry? It's my home state. I love the joint. So, you know, can't wait to get back. But if you like stacks of fires in the streets and you have pigs on spits roasting in the street, and you have all these red neon lights everywhere, and lights going up to the sky everywhere, and have bands playing all through the night, guess what? It's not so cold. It's okay. So we want to replicate that a little bit with having a bonfire at a place called Picnic Hill, which is a normal community event which is done, which is heaps fun up in Redcliffe. I'm still fighting with council about that, but I'll win either way, I promise. So we're doing that next month, and it's a little bit different outside. But we also, the coffees we do once a week. Simply, it's a soft entry. Like if people come in and say hello, you know, check it out. If they think we're all dicks, they can go. It's okay. I don't mind. I'm not easily offended. If you do that, we also have a beach gathering as well, where I think it's next Sunday, that we've got it from like 9 o'clock till 11. People with kids. So people who, you know, it's hard. One of the hardest times I've had, if people who haven't had kids yet, this period of time where your kid's young until they can fend for themselves, freaking lonely time. You can sit there and you're like, I used to love watching football and drinking on a Friday night by myself in my lounge room. And I hate football. But what else do you do? You can't leave the kids. You can't go anywhere. Everyone else is doing stuff. It was hard. So we're trying to get that part.
Swim club.
Sorry?
Swim club.
Yeah. Well, we've also, it's so fun.
It's a big way out.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, exactly. Well, opportunity. There you go. Done. Yeah, we try and do all these things. So we try and provide for a number of sort of areas to do stuff. So it's ever growing. Employment's a new thing. It might fail. I'm okay with failing, because if you're not having a crack, you know, you'll never fail. But I'd rather have a crack. So please feel free to get involved if you'd like to. Please follow the thing about firstly taking opportunity, but secondly, giving it. Just give them a crack. What if they're awesome? You don't need to see all this experience sometimes. Sometimes a clean skin is your best option.
I'm going to add to that with Ryan. I'm going to speak from experience. I've made no secret that I've had the fortune and misfortune of knowing this young man. No, he's actually become a really good friend of mine over the last couple of years. But I mean, through Tribe, I met a young guy that when he turned up, barely knew anyone and came along for basically getting to know people. I didn't realise that me going along to try, but first thought was supporting Ryan and his endeavours, was I needed it as much as anyone. I ended up meeting some great people there, including one that's now about to become basically full-time in our business as an employee. Last thing I actually thought of in that process, and he'd never worked in an office before, but because
He's a waiter. And he hated being a waiter.
Yeah.
And now he gets to be doing insurance, which he's loving.
Yeah. He gets
Didn't know he wanted to do it.
he gets to sit there with us with dogs lying around us and UFC on TV and things like that. But it's amazing that clean skin, using that clean skin terminology there, of who, what and where, and opportunities. It's the last thing I actually thought was an opportunity out of that. I didn't even know I needed someone in the team, but yeah, so I suppose from what I've learned out of it more, be open-minded and be open to different opportunities. You never know what can lead where, and take it from there. So
no, it's cool. We changed a lot with Michael's life to a large degree, and that sounds really wanky, but I'll tell you what, he's 29, he'd never moved out of home. Okay, he'd never had any sort of relationship, he didn't have any friends and all sorts of stuff, and he's a kick-ass player now. Like he's in there having a crack, getting opportunities and feeling good about his life. Moved out of home, living in a place in Woody Point, just loving it. So, anyway, that's enough for me. I think I've taken up time. Yes, sorry?
So, Ryan, when I have a look on, so I can see a Facebook page.
Yep.
So I was just trying to see if I could find out when the gatherings are, where
Yeah,
they
if
are.
you like the page,
Okay.
if you like, or Grant's got my details. I've chucked two of my cards in there for anyone who's interested. Feel free to hit us up. Like, I'll put you on a mailing list or do whatever like that. Facebook page is probably easiest. I crap on there all the time, Sarah. But it's about, see, Facebook, once again, you know, the digital thing I talked about? That's not where it ends. That's my soapbox. That's my opportunity to tell you about things that are going on. It's like the gym. Tribe's like the gym. If you just join up and don't show, you get this. Jokes. Right? So, yeah, have a crack. Have a look at them there. Feel free to hit me up. Do whatever you like. Okay? But look, if there's no more questions, you've got people to go to work and do stuff. So, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks.